What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
With the conclusion of the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets series, we now find ourselves in a world where every team is now entered round 2 of the NBA playoffs. So I will take some time to evaluate my original picks and then provide some new picks for the second round series that I did not predict would be the matchups. My goal was to predict a perfect bracket from beginning to end, and I have already failed in that. So here we go. Now, if you take a look at the screen there, if there is a double check mark on a series, that means I called it correctly and I called how many games it would conclude in, right? One single check mark just means I called it correctly, but I didn't get the games right. And obviously a red X means I called the series wrong altogether. OKC, I called a sweep, pat on the back. Denver, I called in 7, pat on the back. Lakers, I got way wrong. I had the Lakers in, I want to say 5 or 6, and it ended up being Minnesota in 5. So my logic and analysis on that one couldn't have been more wrong. I went back to look at the video to see what I said, and I was like, yeah, everything I said was absolute trash. It was the complete opposite of everything I said, actually. Quite funny. Golden State Warriors, I called correctly, but I called Golden State in 6, not 7. Cleveland Cavaliers, I called a sweep. I totally disrespected the Indiana Pacers and my critique against the Milwaukee Bucks. I underestimated that team. They are much better than I thought they was, and they were not overwhelmed by Giannis Antetokounmpo's individual dominance like I thought they would be. And the other Milwaukee Bucks players that I thought would step up really didn't, at least consistently. So I got that one way wrong. The Knicks I picked in 7. It was 7. And the Boston Celtics, they disappointed me. I really thought they would sweep the Orlando Magic, but they ended up dropping one game. But it is what it is. 6 out of 8 ain't bad. I can live with that. Though I don't take much pride in the OKC picks, the Cavaliers picks, and the Boston Celtics picks. Those are probably the 3 easiest matchups to predict. And I'm pretty sure everybody outside of being a Memphis fan, or Orlando fan, or a Miami Heat fan, everybody predicted those series the same, I'm sure. But the hardest series, the one I had the most trouble with, was the Denver Nuggets. I ended up getting that one correctly. That was the most difficult one for me. So in my original video, I predicted every match, every series, every round, all the way up to the NBA champion. Now, in the previous video, I predicted OKC would beat the Denver Nuggets in 7. And I'm sticking with that pick. Not changing it. No reason to change it. Who do I want to win as a fan? I want the Denver Nuggets to win. But I think the Oklahoma City depth and that bench is just going to be a little bit too much when the only person holding the Denver Nuggets bench down is Russell Westbrook. And I really think there's a strong possibility those starters will get gassed in Denver. But we'll see. And OKC has home court, obviously. Best record in the league. OKC in 7. All right, this one is new because I picked the Lakers to win. So Golden State Warriors versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is tough. After what I seen from the Minnesota Timberwolves, that dog in them, that fight in them, that scrappiness in them, the ability to guard all those wing players, the ability to switch anything, everything, and the fact that Coach Finch is actually playing Rudy Gobert against small lineups and saying, hey, there's a positive and negative to everything. Yeah, there's a possibility you might get some open threes if Rudy Gobert is getting cooked out on the three-point line or getting blown past. But at the same time, we're going to punish you in the paint with lob threats, rebounds, cleanup buckets. I'm so happy Coach Finch is going that direction, to be honest with you. Because I've been so tired of this narrative ever since the NBA has changed into the small ball league where people are scared to play their bigs. I'm like, no, you just got to punish them on the opposite end. and may the best play style win. They just let these teams, I can't even say run their big men off the court because they don't even throw them in there to see what's going to happen. But there's not a lot of dominant big men in the NBA anymore. There's rarely any. I get it. But it is what it is. So if the Timberwolves continue to stick with Rudy Gobert and he's not a complete fumble fingers, they'll have an advantage in the paint. But at the same time, Draymond Green anchoring down the paint is much better than any option that JJ Redick used against them. But also seeing how Golden State Warriors struggled with the Houston Rockets 7 games. And I definitely think the Minnesota Timberwolves are a better team. Record be damned, are a better team than the Rockets. And they're going to pose more of a threat. It's going to be a challenge for the Warriors on the defensive end. This one is tough. This one is tough. Between McDaniels, Reed, Ant-Man, Julius Randle, they can switch every single thing that the Warriors are going to throw at them. They can switch it all, no hesitation. This one is tough. Wolves have home court advantage. They're hungry. Ant-Man's young, dangerous. They're calling Anthony Edwards the legend killer, right? Took down Kevin Durant last year, took down Joker last year, took down LeBron and Luka this year. I definitely think Steve Kerr is going to need to put some trust in Kuminga and see what he can do out there with his youth and athleticism, because I definitely think the Warriors are going to need some of that. And it would help the starters that some of them could catch a blow every now and then, because they're going to be playing some heavy minutes. I do believe that. I think it would behoove Steve Kerr to run Kuminga in the first game, see what happens, see how he responds, see how he looks, see if he makes a difference or not. But I would recommend him put Kuminga in, 15, 20 minutes, factor him into the game plan, see what can happen. Especially with Gary Payton injured. I don't know how serious his injury is, how long he's going to be out. But assuming he won't see any action for the first game, why not? Unlike the Lakers, the Golden State Warriors have a more polished and effective and surgical offense than what the Lakers present with a bunch of iso ball. I like the Warriors' movement, player movement, ball movement, constant shifting, constant cutting, constant screens, picks, reverse screen picks. They'll catch you. Sometimes you're expecting Steph Curry to slip and Draymond to drop it. And then Draymond catches you, backpedals real quickly, slips to the basket. And if Buddy Hield, which they are definitely going to need in this series, if Buddy Hield can be a consistent three-point shooting threat, this could be interesting. You know what? I'm taking the veteran leadership of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and their offense against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I'm going to say in 7. I'm going to tell you this. I am not confident about this. I am not. This came down to I'm not sure how the X's and O's are going to pan out either way. So I'm going to have to go with the savvy veterans that I've seen win, well, at least 2 of them win 4 championships together. But like I said, I'm not confident in this. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wolves won in less than 7 games, to be honest. I can't see the Warriors winning in any less than 7, but I could see the Wolves winning in less than 7. But I'm going with the Warriors. Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers. All right, so we're already 1 game into this series. Indiana Pacers won the first game in Cleveland. They're up 1-0 in the series. However, that's not going to change what I think is going to happen. I'm picking the Cavaliers. I weren't going to pick them to sweep anyway after seeing how potent the Indiana Pacers really are. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what they got to do. Everybody's comfortable. I'm picking the Cavaliers in 7. I think this one is going to go 7. I really do. I really, really do. Even with the Pacers taking the home court advantage, I don't think they'll be able to maintain it. I think Julius Garland, who I think will be back for game 2, is going to make a big difference for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think they'll get back to rolling like we've seen them do in the regular season. I think when they're all together as a unit, their defense is going to be too tight, and I think they're going to have too many offensive weapons for the Indiana Pacers to deal with. Missing Darius Garland is a big hit to them, and you saw the difference. And I think Donovan Mitchell knows that he doesn't have to settle for threes, that he can get to the basket and get whatever he wants at any given time against his Indiana Pacers team. But Garland's going to be a big boost. But I'm putting no disrespect on the Indiana Pacers after I seen who they really are, and they got the chops for the playoffs. I'm calling it Cleveland Cavaliers in 7. The New York Knicks, Boston Celtics, I predicted in the last video. I picked the Knicks in I picked the Boston Celtics in a sweep. And I'm sticking with that. I don't think the Knicks have one game in them. No. With no disrespect to Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, Anunoby, all them boys. Sorry. Boston is too deep, too skilled, too versatile. And they have had a nice amount of rest to heal up those little hanky-janky injuries a couple of their players had. I think they'll be ready to go. I do. We'll see. I have the least amount of confidence in my Golden State Warriors pick, but all the other ones I'm fairly okay confident with, but I have no idea with that Warriors series. But I'm sticking with it. Warriors in 7. Celtics in a sweep. Cavaliers in 7. OKC in 7. Those are my picks. You let me know your picks. What's your analysis? You agree? You disagree? And we'll see where we go from here. Appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. And I catch you on the next one. We out, baby.